Iron Man 2, which people love to argue about. Lots of people say Iron Man 2 is a messy movie that Marvel dropped the ball. But let's see what she thinks.
It feels a little bit more chaotic. So many of the choices made were so stupid, like, dare I say, a little bit predictable.
I don't like this Whiplash guy either. I like, ugh, this guy sucks. Stabs him in the back, then in the ends gives him a half-ass apology.
The humor was very good. It's always good in these Iron Man movies.
We are taking Libby through the Marvel journey, and now we've hit Iron Man 2. Libby, you loved Iron Man 1. I'm I don't want to, prematurely say, but I think it's your favorite movie so far. What were you thinking going into Iron Man 2?
I thought I was gonna like it as much as the first one. Like, I just had a very, very high expectation,
Mhm.
and I think part of that is just because I really like the characters and I like the kind of, like, tension between Pepper and Tony Stark and, like I don't know, I just like Tony Stark is very funny, I like his demeanor. I thought I was gonna like this movie a lot, and I did like it a lot.
You did. Did you like it? Did it grab you the same way as Iron Man 2 or not as much? Or Iron Man 1 or not as much?
Not as much, but it
Okay.
it was very, very close.
Why do you think it's not as good?
Um, I can kind of agree with what you were just saying. It feels a little bit more chaotic,
Mhm. There's a lot going on in the
and
movie.
yeah, there is a lot going on.
There's a lot of storylines going on, whereas Iron Man 1 was kind of just like him and his business and him like turning good. Whereas Iron Man 2,
Mhm,
you get a backstory with his dad. Shield comes in, you get a backstory with Shield. You have this new villain with a backstory. And then you get like this whole story with Pepper becoming the new CEO. So there's a lot going on,
mhm,
but it still works. It's still fun.
mhm. Yeah, I kind of didn't really like this villain guy at all, and I just feel like
Yes.
so many of the choices made were so stupid, like, this is kind of one of those movies where you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, don't tell me this is happening right now." Like,
Hmm.
dare I say, a little bit predictable.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't like this Whiplash guy either. I personally, after rewatch, was like, ugh, this guy sucks.
Yeah. It was gross. He was so hard to look at. Oh my gosh, which I
Yes.
mean, yeah, you're not supposed to like the villains, but I feel like normally villains have more aura. He was just, like, so grimy looking.
Yeah, he had nothing for him. And I want to ask you this question because this is kind of the way I'm feeling. The way it worked and the motive behind him wanting to kill Tony Stark was because his dad, Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, and the villain's dad, Anton, whatever his last name was, were partners. But then he tried to use Stark Industry weapons for bad. Like he was trying to do bad
Mhm.
things with them. So then Howard had him deported, and then Yvonne, which was the kid's name, grew up in a terrible home life, blamed it all on Tony Stark. I'm not a big fan of that reason for him hating Tony Stark.
I'm not a big fan of it either, but I guess, like, it makes sense. He's probably looking at this and he's like, "Look, like, this is what my life could be. Look at how up on his high horse Tony Stark is. That could be me, and that could be me making money and having all that public, um,
Yeah.
public what's the word I'm looking for? Like, appreciation?"
I'll agree to disagree. I wish it was his dad. It would make more sense if the dad who got stabbed in the back, even though he was a bad guy, was the one who was Whiplash. But I mean, he'd probably be a grandpa at that point. So
Mhm.
I
He'd
don't
be
really know
really
if
old.
it wouldn't make any sense. Um, did Tony Stark in this movie have more aura, or did he have less in the first movie?
Oh, I don't know, that's a hard question.
I know. Think about the opening scene, which was him in the court. He was aura farming.
Yeah, he was. You know, but did he have more aura? I mean, I felt like he was bothering me a lot because he
Really?
seemed more self-absorbed in the second movie. And I
He kind of was
know
annoying you a little bit.
that's kind of like his thing, like, he's
Mhm,
self-absorbed, he's like, he always kinda knows what's going on and always has, like, his little
mhm.
plan, like, things just end up working out for him, but I found it a little bit annoying, and one thing that really bothers me is how he's always late to things, or, like, he's always so, like, careless. I'm like, "Dude, get it together. Everyone loves you, and you're, like, this great superhero," and people are like, "Oh, there's a meeting for you at 9 a.m." And he's like, Okay, cool, I'll be there at noon." Like,
Ah, that's so
bro.
funny though. She's like,
Like,
"Meeting
it
at
is
9:30."
it is
"Great, be
funny.
there." He's like, "Great, be there at noon." That's funny, that's hilarious.
It is funny, but I just know that like, imagine yourself in that movie, that would piss me off.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, one guy that was really mad at Tony Stark because of that stuff, because of his ego, was Justin Hammer, who was the other weapons dealer that was trying to be better than Tony. Do you think he was a better villain or no?
No, I think he was an idiot. Oh my god, he was so annoying. And he was also ugly.
You want a cute
Not like okay,
villain?
wait. No, I need to stop, pointing out people's looks, but just if you're gonna be annoying and you're also gonna be ugly, pick a struggle.
That's hilarious. Okay. So you said earlier that Tony Stark was annoying you a little bit because of how more self-absorbed he was. I think
Mhm,
he's a little bit justified though because of the fact that he's literally dying. Um,
mhm.
he's he's being kind of babied by everyone around him. I don't know. I might get hate for that. But then also his friend isn't being a very nice friend. And so that's my question is, do you think Iron Man, do you think it was good that he got beat up because it was an eye-opening experience?
Yeah, I do think it was good. I don't know, I
Man.
understand he was dying, and he was like he had even asked, Black Widow what wait, what was her name? Natalia or something?
Yeah, Natasha.
Natasha, sorry. He had asked
Natalia.
her, he's like, "Hypothetically, if this was your last birthday, how would you spend it?" You know? So, like, he knew that there was a risk for him, like, dying very shortly,
Mhm.
but I don't know.
She
I just still feel like he was acting really, like, recklessly,
Yeah,
and that was just bothering me. I was like, "Why don't you just be honest with these people in your life?" Like, Pepper, for
yeah,
example, obviously, she cares a lot about him, um, and she kept being like, "Oh, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" And, like, she would, like, ask questions, and he would kinda just be like, "What do you mean? Can't I just do this?" Like, he was acting
yeah.
so nonchalant.
But I see what you're saying, but here's my follow-up. Remember when Tony was talking to Nick Fury about his dad and how Nick Fury was saying, "I knew your dad. He cared so much about you." And Tony was like, "Did he? The guy never said I love you to me." So his dad never showed any emotion towards him, so he doesn't know any better. And that's like something he's
Mhm.
working on and learning.
That's true. That happens.
So I think maybe he should deserve a little bit of credit. And I hated the fact that Rhodey beat him up in his own house. I'm not a fan of that.
I hated that too. I like okay, and the fighting between them, I was like, the audacity of Rhodey to just go put on the extra Iron Man suit, start
I
beating him
know.
up, tearing apart the house, and then a few minutes later on in the movie when they are back together, Iron Man is, like, so quick to forgive him. Like, they're like, "Yeah,
Yes.
let's take down these robots together." I'm like, "Okay, you guys were actually just trying to kill each other a few minutes ago."
Literally. I I had to write this down after watching the movie because I was just blown away. So, I'm not a fan of Rhodey in this movie. I do like War Machine, which is this is him in the suit. Okay? War Machine itself is cool, but Rhodey literally beats his friend at his own house on his birthday with his own suit, which he didn't even ask to use, then proceeds to steal it and stabs him in the back by working with his direct competition, Justin Hammer, who he knows isn't
Mhm.
a good guy. Then, in the ends, gives him a half ass apology and assumes that, oh, yeah, we'll be good. That just doesn't
Yeah.
sit right with me.
No, and that's, like, part of my reasoning for why I called this movie chaotic, like, that just all doesn't make sense, like, what's the reasoning to go betray your friend and stab him in the back and then, like, decide later on that you actually wanna continue being friends with him and, like, defeat the enemy with him?
Yeah, that's all crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Fun fact, too.
Mhm.
Rhodey in Iron Man 1 and Rhodey in Iron Man 2 are two different actors. So in Iron Man 1, do you remember the other general that was always talking to Iron Man?
Um, I don't think I do remember that.
He was another, I don't know how to explain it to him, but they switched actors. And so Rhodey is a different actor in Iron Man 2, which is interesting.
Okay, because I was gonna say I didn't recognize them from Iron Man 1. I
Mhm,
can't I can't remember. I'll have to look that up again so I can see who the original actor was.
mhm. I'll show you it after this. Let's see. What else do I got here? Do you think do you think this movie has the weakest villain we've seen so far?
Mm, the weakest villain we've seen so far.
And like when I'm saying weakest, don't think about strength. Think about motive, um, who he is like as a character. You can base it off of looks if you want.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the weakest villains.
Yeah, he sucks. Cause I mean,
Terrible motive,
terrible motive.
ter terrible execution with whatever plan he had to try to, like, take down Tony Stark.
Yeah, he got clapped too at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets clapped both times. So
Yeah.
again, I'll ask if this movie didn't exist, would anything change? Do you think people should watch this before the Avengers?
Mm, honestly, you'd probably be okay without watching it. Maybe you would wanna watch it just to see a little bit more of how, um, Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, like, little
Yes.
dynamic progressed,
What about Black
but
Widow?
otherwise, um,
Because this is technically her
yeah,
introduction.
yeah, it is her introduction. But I also don't feel like that would be, like, that confusing if you just went into watching The Avengers and you hadn't
Mhm.
seen Iron Man
Sure,
2. I
sure.
mean, then what wouldn't you know about her? You wouldn't know that you still know that she's a crazy spy, so
Yeah, because they still tell you in Shield in the Avengers that she's a Shield agent.
yeah, so
Did you like that she was in this
most
movie
of the
though?
background information is still there. I did I like that she was
Mhm.
in this movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Mhm.
Were you ever bored during Iron Man 2?
No.
No? I expected that.
Never. Not once. And actually, I'm pretty sure wasn't that the movie where I clicked it to see how much time was left and it was almost over and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" Like, I feel like I could keep watching this.
Yeah, you did say that. And that's surprising too, because it was a 2-hour movie, and usually you're not a fan of movies that are that long.
Yeah, right, let's keep that on the DL before I get flamed again.
Oh, yeah, you got flamed last time for that one. Um, did you enjoy the humor in this movie? Because I absolutely loved it. I was laughing so hard
Mhm.
in this
The
It,
humor was very good. It's always good in these Iron Man movies.
yeah, they're by far the funniest.
Yeah.
What are you rating Iron Man?
Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 1?
Iron Man 2.
You know, I think like 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's really good.
Mhm.
And that might be surprising to some people because, like I said, the fact that this is a chaotic and messy movie makes people not like this movie.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that I
Yeah.
like it as well.
What do you rate it?
I I think I'm gonna give. I'll give it like a 7.1 out of 10. Yeah.
7.1.
Yep. 7.1.
That's not too far off from mine. I feel like we both enjoyed it.
Mhm. Trying to think if I have anything else to ask you about the movie. You get to learn more about Howard Stark.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
liked
you
that,
have
and I
anything about
I
that.
liked that we got to see the little, tape he had left for Tony Stark, and it
Oh, yeah,
you could
that
see,
little
like, he
moment.
actually did care for his son, which was good.
Yes, that was awesome.
Mhm.
Was it annoying you how he was treating Pepper throughout the movie?
Yeah.
Because you really liked them as a couple, but they kissed at the end, and you were hype about that. Let's not forget about that. You were going crazy when they
Yeah,
kissed.
I was hyped.
That's the first
I
time they
didn't
kissed.
like he kept, like, glazing Natasha, and, like, every time he'd see her, he'd be like, "Oh," like, which is his
Mhm.
character, right? So that's expected,
Yeah.
but every time he would do that, I'd be like, "No, no, what about Peppers?" Yeah, when they finally kissed at the end, I was like, "Oh my gosh, finally."
I will agree that I like that it's him and Pepper, but I thought it was so funny when when she beats up Happy and she gets out of the ring and she walks away and Tony's like, "I want one." And Pepper's like, "Nope." She's like, "Nope." That was
Yeah, that was
hilarious to
funny.
me. "I want one."
That was
No.
no. Yeah, that was the good humor in the movie.
It was. All right. That was solid. Love to hear it from Libby. So, guys, let us know down in the comments. Do you agree with Libby said? Do you disagree? I think a lot of the things that Libby said, I agree with. So you can attack us both if you want to. But that's going to be it for Iron Man 2. Make sure to tune in for the next one because that is going to be about the Avengers. It's going to be an amazing review. Thank you guys for watching and
We'll see you guys next time.